that would be flawed, because now we can usher in new outcomes, or different outcomes, which still can be determined, but the question would be which one would be inevitable for me. Um, so number 5, you said if you have the ability to do otherwise, knowing the predictions of the machine, then it follows that in some cases you have the ability to do otherwise without knowing the machine's prediction. So with that, I would say the beautiful thing about logic is that if everybody believes that all cats are white, all I need to do is present one black cat, that defeats that whole argument. If somebody says, I believe so strongly that all cats are white, all I need to do to make that argument flawed is just to bring about a cat that's black. So I think that can be imposed in this example as well. If I am able to do otherwise with the machine that is 100% accurate, which tells me exactly what I'm going to do, which is not based on the limbic system, then there's space in which I could do something otherwise, even if the machine didn't tell me to do it. Because for the very fact that I've shown that there's a possibility of me doing something other than what the machine told me to do, even if it were 100% correct, which sounds like a conundrum, like how is it 100% correct, but it offers me to do something other than what it's suggesting? Because as soon as it suggests me to do something, which is, let's just say within a specific span of time, a short span of time, I think like that it wouldn't hold any kind of argument to say that this machine would actually be 100%. So if it gives me the option to do something other than what it suggested, then there's a chance that I will do that other thing that it has suggested, which would prove the machine wrong. So seeing it's 100% correct makes it a bit of a conundrum. But it's the same argument that I made with determinism. If there's just one sector of the universe that is indeterminate, which in our case it's our human brain, how the neurological pathways are continuously altering themselves based on the thoughts and the feelings and the stimuli that's provided. If that one aspect of the universe is indeterminate, then, because you cannot make a set prediction as to how a brain is going to evolve and form based upon its neurological pathways. That is a totally spontaneous occurrence, and it's also willed by free will. But it's the same thing there. Like, if there's just one aspect of the universe that's indeterminate, then the whole thing itself is indeterminate, because that creates a space in which something that could happen, that would not follow the outcome that was set when the Big Bang, let's just say, came into, like, brought about the universe to be. So I definitely feel that if I'm able to do otherwise, even when the machine tells me to that I'm gonna do something, there's a chance, even if it's 0.001, there's a chance that I can deviate from the machine's prediction, even if it didn't tell me. So number 6, most likely fatalism is false. We have the ability to do otherwise. All right, so I guess maybe that one was a bit of a jump, because maybe we haven't proven directly that fatalism is actually false. Because one could make the argument that fatalism is true, that there is one outcome and that outcome is inevitable. But if we could develop a machine, right, that could tell us every single outcome, and that outcome was not based on a limbic system response, then we could do otherwise, which shows that even in the idea of the universe playing as that machine, in accordance to fatalism, there is still a portion, no matter how small, in which we could deviate. But I think maybe perhaps we need a stronger argument that could state that fatalism, that there's the higher chance that fatalism is false, because under scientific discoveries, especially pertaining to cause and effect, if every single thing was caused by a previous event, then everything is determined. So one would use that as an argument for fatalism. But if you had to construct a computer, if we had to use that argument, then we could deviate from following that said outcome. But since we're not working with a computer, working with the universe, that's a much more intricate thing. There would be less chance for us to deviate if this is a determined world. But nonetheless, we are agents that cause effects. And by encountering other agents, other human beings, we create new chains of causality, as you said. So fatalism, even if there's a small fraction that deviates from this truth, then fatalism cannot be completely true. I won't say it's ultimately false, but it cannot be completely true. So that could usher in a space in which we have the ability to do otherwise. Because if there's just that little space in which there is a way we can do something other than what was suggested, then, if you study the patterns of nature, like if you're a weather reporter, right? Like a lot of times they're incorrect, but there are times where they're spot on. They're actually right. So if you could study the patterns of the universe, you could also have the ability to do otherwise in terms of knowing what could happen. Because I believe randomness is just our inability to understand the information that's presented. So there's nothing random upon deeper investigation. So with regards to that, I would say that fatalism is not a complete argument. I don't know if that holds any water. I don't know if this is a strong argument, but for me, the way I've run it down, it seems like it's pretty legit. Although I would try and refine the 6 point, but everything else is seems quite accurate. So I'll detail in my next video what exactly I believe. I don't want to include my beliefs in after having such an argument and going through such a thing, because I believe it's a whole nother discussion. But in terms of libertarian free will type 2, this is a good argument, and hopefully it can help others who are a bit skeptic about this approach in terms of understanding free will. Perhaps maybe it could shed some light. So like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought. And to end it off, as I always end it off, for those who seek no more, for in the present we find it all. Thank you very much, guys.